Hi everyone! Today I'm going to share with you my top 5 everyday over-the-shoulder tote bags. So I've got all 5 here. I'm going to jam-pack this video with a lot of information. I will share size comparisons, I will include mod shots, I will also share what fits inside each bag in great detail, and I will share how long I've owned each bag and any updates on wear and tear. So let's get started with the first one. This first tote bag is from Parisa Wang, and it's called the Gabrielle Soft Tote. It's actually really pretty because it has this nice trapezoidal shape to it, and I would say that in terms of size, it's very comparable to the Louis Vuitton Neverfull size. I don't own it, but I have tried it on in the boutique before, and I would say it's very similar in size. Out of the bags that I'm going to share with you today, this is the only bag that has feet on the bottom, so it's really structured at the base, and it's got 4 feet to protect the bottom, which is really nice. And I feel like this is the most polished, most professional looking bag that I'm showing today. It's perfect for work, or if you're a student, if you're in college or you're in grad school, it's great. I use this a lot on the weekends, and recently I had to carry a lot of papers for a church event, and this was perfect. So I'm going to show you the details. It comes in 3 different colors, but I love this black color because it's just so classic, so easy. I also really love the black on black details, the monochrome. It makes it look very streamlined, very chic, and like I said, very polished as well. So the straps are really sturdy. I've owned this bag for about 9 months now, and I have not been babying it at all. I feel like when it comes to tote bags, you just shove as much as you can in there. It gets heavy, you throw it over your shoulder, and you go, right? So a tote bag has to be really durable and also versatile. So the inside here is all black, the bottom is the leather base, and then all the way around is this really soft microfiber lining. It feels really nice to the touch. You've got one small open pocket on each side. So you've got the matching pocket on this side as well. I'll give you a close-up. And sometimes I do use an organizer insert with this, which I'll show in a moment. And then there's this nice little toggle to keep it closed. So this bag right now retails for $478, so it's under $500 for this all leather bag, which I think is going to last for many, many years. Can't go wrong with it. And I do have a promo code. It's not a sponsorship, it's not an affiliate code. I don't get anything for it, but because it's a code that I have, I like to share it in case anyone wants to save some money. So the code is Hannah12 for 12% off, and it should still be valid today. And this is my daughter's laptop that I'm using for demonstrative purposes. It is a 14-inch laptop. You can see how easily that slips right in. Here we have a standard size folder if you are carrying papers for work or for school. That slips right in as well. This is a magazine that I picked up randomly on one of my trips this summer, and I don't recommend it because it is chock full of ads, but anyway, this is a standard size magazine that also is going to slip right in easily. Here's my agenda or notebook from Hermes. This is the Ulysses notebook in the size. A lot of you have asked about this in the past. That slips right in as well. And then as we're entering the fall season, I figure you might want to add like a cardigan or a scarf or shawl or gloves. This is a pretty oversized shawl from Hermes. It's my big black and gold horse design. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like a horse sketch. I've shown it before. So this, even if you don't fold it up nice, if you just want to throw it right in, it fits very easily. You can close up the toggle, and voila. Also, I said that I would share with you what it looks like with an organizer insert. It's not the type of tote that's going to collapse or fold, so it doesn't need an organizer insert to keep it structured, but sometimes I like to have the extra compartments. So here's the insert that I use for a different bag, and it's from ZOOMONI. I always talk about my inserts from ZOOMONI because it's one of my favorites, and I have a lot of their inserts. All felt. This is the 2mm thickness, which is really nice for structure. You could probably go for the thinner one, which I think is 1.2mm, but I've been using this interchangeably between several of my totes, and not only does it keep the inside clean, but also adds more compartments and pockets, right? And it brightens up the interior so you're not looking into the black lining. So that works, but let me just show you another one. This one here, probably one of the worst purchases that I've ever made, but it's from 7 Rue Paradis, or better known as 7RP. This is the organizer insert that was like $650, I think. Ridiculous. I don't know what I was thinking at the time. But this was for my Birkin 30, and I don't use it in my Birkin, so I sometimes just plop this in here and that works as well. It's not a perfect fit, but it doesn't need to be. As long as the insert is slightly smaller than the bag, then it's okay. You don't want the insert to be too big because then it will rub against the edges and the corners and kind of distort the shape of your bag. So this works as well. But let me show you again this one here, because this one has a nice little bottle holder. So if you wanted to carry around a bottle, this is just a generic water bottle. It's 16 fluid ounces. And you can just plop it right in and it keeps it separate from all of your other belongings. This is just a little pouch that I got as a free gift from Rothy's. If you don't know Rothy's, they make shoes and accessories. I am a huge fan of their shoes. They're very comfortable. And at the time I had purchased 2 pairs of shoes, I think. And so they gave me this as a free gift with purchase. It's nice and handy, and I've got a few things in there. So, you know, you just plop stuff in and it's nice and organized. So hopefully that's helpful to see, and let me move on to the second bag. This bag I've also talked about for quite some time. This is from Cuyana, and it's the small, easy tote without the zipper. It's the one that's open. And I've had this for about 2.5 years, I would say. Also looks pretty much new again. I'm not really fussing over these tote bags. They're supposed to be practical, everyday bags. The corners are not really worn. Are they? No, I don't see anywhere at all. So there's a nice little sheen to this. This is in the cappuccino color, but it comes in a variety of other colors. There's so many other colors available. And I really like this slouchy effect, even though usually I don't like slouchy bags, but I just love the huggability of this. The leather is really soft and pliable, but super durable at the same time. It's a pebbled, thick leather. It feels really nice to the touch. Also, it is water resistant. I found that out just because I got caught in the rain several times over the last couple of years, and it just wipes right off. And it has 2 types of straps. So you've got the shorter straps like this. You can do a crook of the arm, and then it has the longer shoulder straps. So it's more versatile. Then it has just an open main compartment, and then you've got, oops, I've got a receipt in there, and then you've got a smaller open compartment here where you can put receipts and small items. This as well, I feel like I will use either with or without an organizer insert depending on my needs or my mood of the day. Also, the only branding that is on this bag is right here in the front where it says Cuyana in gold foil, really small. Earlier, the Parisa Wang bag that I showed you has practically no branding, so it's really discreet. I love that. And this one here is currently priced at $258. And then you can also add the zipper if you wanted more of a secure closure, and that would be additional $20, I believe. And on the Cuyana website, I noticed that if you use a new customer email address, then you get 10% off your order. So if you're interested, I don't have a personal promo code, but I thought I would share that little trick if you wanted to get 10% off. So this as well, I can use with an insert. I just want to show you this. Fits really nicely. This fits just fine as well, and it gives it more compartments again, but like I said, I don't always need to have an insert. Let me show you with all the things inside. Again, here is the 14-inch laptop, standard size folder, standard magazine, notebook. I'll add the water bottle. Even without an insert, it's fine. Let's also add the pouch if you use a little catch-all for things on a daily basis. This is what it looks like so far. Then I've got my shawl, which I'm not folding on purpose just because, you know, you could be throwing in, like I said, anything, a jacket, a sweater, or a cardigan, but just bunched up. I'm just trying to give you an idea. And then this is what it looks like. It's a bit more soft, right? Even the look of it is more soft, so it has a very relaxed look. It looks effortless. I do understand why this bag is one of Cuyana's best sellers. They have a lot of really practical and classic looking bags, but out of all their bags, this is one of their best sellers and has been for the last few years. So definitely recommend this as well if you're looking for more of a relaxed, soft, just beautiful grained leather, nice to the touch, that huggability factor, as I said. If you wanted something like this, this is a great option. Before moving on to the other bags, as I go through them, I want to give you side-by-side comparisons in case you're torn between 2 or 3 different options. So just to give you a sense here, between the Cuyana and the Parisa Wang, I would say they're very similar in size. Even the strap length is very similar. Let me see if I can lay it down. As you can see, like so. It's just, this is going to be a bit more structured and clean lines, And then this one is going to be softer, as you can see. And it collapses down. And this has the 2 different strap lengths, whereas this one has 1, but they're both great bags, just very different looks. I would say if you're going for more of a relaxed look, like cool, casual, everyday, weekend vibes, I would go for the Cuyana. If you're going for something that's a little bit more refined, perhaps a bit more professional or polished, I would definitely choose the Parisa Wang then. Also, I forgot to mention, this bag is also water resistant because, again, I got drizzled on and it's fine. So I think in general, pebbled leather is going to be very durable and low maintenance. So I wanted to just share that because I mentioned that on the Cuyana. Both of these bags are going to be pretty weather resistant, so you don't have to worry about that. All right, next is an old school classic. This is the Longchamp Pliage tote with the longer handles. Now, at the time, I bought this from the Neo collection, which has since been discontinued. I had shared a couple of years ago that this line was being taken away, unfortunately. It's got really nice, thick, silky nylon. I know now they use different nylon and more recycled nylon. And this collection also offered the monochrome look, so for example, black on black. But I think the classic Pliage totes are also just very classic and you can't go wrong. So nylon is going to be, again, low maintenance, water resistant, although not waterproof. If you're going to be in heavy rain, it will soak through. So just water resistant, but also stain resistant, scratch resistant, and very lightweight, right? All of the bags I'm showing are pretty lightweight today. So this has the button closure, if you didn't already know. And this one here, I love how it has the chunky zipper. I don't think they all have that, but there is this new color that I saw recently that is called British Green, and it's from the classic Le Pliage line, and I think it's so nice for the fall. I'm really tempted. But I already have this black tote from Longchamp, and I also have the pink one that I've been using this summer. So do I really need a third Longchamp tote? Probably not, but that green one has been calling my name. So this is how I keep it stuffed so that it doesn't slouch down because, as we all know, it's pretty soft. Again, I have another insert in here. This as well is from ZOOMONI. I ordered this one to be fitted to the Longchamp. Now, I always said that this was the small size because it was, but I think they've changed it a bit. Now the small is only with the short top handles. So I think this might be now considered the medium-sized tote with the longer handles. But that's what it looks like on the inside. This one is all black interior. You've got a little pocket here. You've got a larger pocket here. Again, this is the Neo version, so I don't know how the classic one looks, but I would imagine it's very, very similar. And right now it looks like retail-wise, it's going for $150, and sometimes you can get some colors on sale. So this is a great bag just for every day, especially if you're a mom. I think it's an easy bag to tote around with your kids, with all your baby, toddler, preschooler supplies, snacks. It's very wipeable. So let me show you how it looks with all of the items inside. So again, here is my daughter's 14-inch laptop that fits perfectly, although it's a little bit snug. I know there is a larger size tote that some people really like, but this is the smaller version. Here's the folder again. Magazine. I'm using the same items for each bag so you can compare. Notebook. Pouch. Water bottle. Let me stand it up. So here's what it looks like so far. And then again, let me stick my shawl in there, and there you have it. And you're going to have more space if you go for the larger one, but this one also is fine for all of the essentials that I just showed you. And it's really sturdy. I've never heard anyone complain about the straps getting undone or the stitching coming undone on any of the Longchamp bags. And as I've mentioned in previous videos, I believe they still offer the complimentary service where if the corners get worn, you can bring it into a Longchamp store for one time, once in a lifetime of the bag, to get the corners repaired. What they'll do is they'll snip off the corners and then reseal them, so it'll make your bag a tiny bit smaller here, but if you have like a hole in the corner, they can actually fix it for you, so it'll last longer. So what do you guys think of the British green color? Is that something you would go for the fall season? I think because my daughter's favorite color is green, she's definitely influencing me. I'm not really a green color person. I only like green on my plants, but I don't know why that British green color is calling me. I feel like it would look really nice with navy and camel and all kinds of neutrals this season. So I've put the insert back in just to see if everything will fit with the insert. So there's a water bottle in the holder right there. So I would put the larger items outside of the insert along the wall. Same thing with the laptop. So if you were curious if everything fits with the organizer insert, I would say yes, it does fit, but it's a bit more snug, as you can see, for the larger items like the magazine. This in as well, so we can compare fully. So the zipper is going to be a little bit tight. I can already tell. You see that? So I can probably shimmy it around, but if I were to take out the magazine and the folder and just keep in the laptop, that should be fine. There you go. That's fine. So hopefully that's helpful. Okay, again, let me do a quick size comparison. So first, let me show you the Parisa Wang with the Longchamp. Very similar trapezoidal shape, as you can see, but this is going to be smaller. The Longchamp is just a couple of inches shorter in height, which is probably why the zipper got a little bit stuck when I put the folder and the magazine in here with the organizer insert. In terms of the base, it looks very similar in length and size and also depth. And then here's the Cuyana with the Longchamp. Very different, obviously. Soft, slouchy leather versus nylon, but sizing-wise, very, very similar. Let's see. The base of the Longchamp is shorter, but also deeper. And then you can see here, this is less of a trapezoid, it's more of a rectangle. So the base is longer on the Cuyana, but also slimmer. So it's going to kind of sit more close to the body. And because it's softer, it kind of molds to the body. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Next one is this MZ Wallace large metro shoulder tote. It's a hobo style. It's got one shoulder strap. Some of you may be surprised that I'm including this in a tote bag video, but to me this is kind of a tote bag, right? It's an over-the-shoulder tote bag. I can carry it as a mom bag, as a workout bag. I take it to Pilates all the time, weekend bag, errands. If I were working in an office, I would totally use this, but now I work from home. So this is a really versatile bag. It actually fits much more than you would think given the shape. And this is what it looks like on the inside. I have talked about this bag so much, and I've reviewed it and updated it several times. So the inside is all this wipeable nylon, and then you've got the zippered compartment here. If you're going to travel with this bag, which I love to do, all of your passports, your family's passports will fit in there really secure. Then you've got these two pockets where I like to put my keys and my card wallet, and then it comes with this little pouch as well. So that's handy if you wanted to use that separately or just keep it inside for your little knickknacks. So this right here doesn't have any feet. Like I said, none of the bags have feet except for the Parisa Wang that I showed earlier. But the bottom here has a little tab that says MZ Wallace, New York, and it's Vachetta leather, so it is going to patina. Anytime you see Vachetta leather, which is untreated, it's going to darken over time with sun exposure and water exposure, and I don't really care so much about it on this casual bag, so I don't do anything specific to protect it, but this is what it looks like with like a medium level patina. I've had this bag for almost exactly a year, and I just remembered I didn't mention how long I've had my black Longchamp bag for. That was about 3.5 years old. Yeah, the Longchamp. So I've had all of these bags for a good chunk of time. So this one for a year. And I just want to show you how everything fits. You definitely don't need an organizer insert for a bag like this. It is so nice, the quilting. This is like my comfort bag. I can use it as a pillow on the plane as well. So let me show you how everything fits. Here's the laptop. And surprisingly, it does fit. Here's the folder and the magazine. Now it's gonna look really flat and kind of square, but yep, it fits. It's not going to have any issues with the zipper at all. Also here again, love, love, love the chunky zipper on MZ Wallace. Let's throw in my notebook, pouch, bottle. So far, so good. Looks like this. And again, this bag is going to be really lightweight because it's all nylon, so even if you carry a lot like a laptop, it won't feel too bad on your shoulder. Last addition is the shawl. So let's see. That's what it looks like. Now it's kind of funny because of that flat laptop back here, but it all fits perfectly fine. And actually, when you don't have a laptop in there and you just throw your stuff in, I love the slouchy moon, like the half moon shape that it creates. So let me take it out and show you. And I have talked about how the newer version of this bag has an exterior pocket right out here, a little zippered pocket where you can put your phone, which is a really nice bonus. But this is the first version, or the original version when they first came out with it, so I don't have that pocket. But the newer one is even better. Now it's just a bunch of mishmash stuff and my notebook and the water bottle, shawl, pouch. So there you have it. I love that slouchy look. I just love it. And it's just really easy. I've been asked about this bag while I was out. I've been complimented about this bag while I've been out. It comes in a variety of different colors. I think they have now up to 7 different colors, so you have a lot of options. This one is the black color, the black on black. This is the last bag, the Chanel Deauville Tote. I did a review recently sharing a 3-year wear and tear update. Yes, I've had this bag for about 3 years now, and it's holding up really great. I will link that video up above if you're interested in seeing close-ups on how it's been wearing, but I think it's holding up really well. This bag can come in a variety of different materials. They have leather, they have denim, they have this, which is like a mixed fibers material, and it has the classic chained longer straps with the leather break, which is really comfortable on the shoulder. And then I love that it has the top handles as well, kind of like the Cuyana bag that I showed. It's got 2 different options, making it a little bit more versatile. But I always use this bag with an organizer insert, because to me it just doesn't come alive without the organizer insert. So it does have this nice bright beige interior. You've got pockets along the side. You've got this zippered compartment, which is pretty generous on this side. You can fit your passports or secure some important papers. Also comes with this detachable zipped pouch, which is nice, but like I said, I always have to use an organizer insert. So this is the one I showed you earlier that I sometimes multi-purpose with the other bags. It fits in the Longchamp, it fits in the Cuyana, it fits in the Parisa Wang, and it fits here. I actually originally ordered it for this bag, so it fits perfectly, as you can see. It's more snug, it's fitted. But again, that water bottle space right there and more compartments. Oops, tissues. So there you have it, a pen. You can tell I use this insert a lot. So again, here is the laptop with the insert, okay? Let me put it on the outside here. Now, I hardly ever carry a laptop anymore, but as you can see, it does fit and it holds it kind of nice to the side. Maybe I'll put the folder and the magazine on the other side. See how that works out. So it's going to be tight again with these two because of the insert. So I'll show what it looks like without the insert in a moment. Let me just take that out. And also the height of this bag is just not as tall, so the magazine and folder might stick out. But here's the water bottle. Love how that stays really snug right there. Notebook, pouch, shawl. That's what it looks like. I actually really enjoy traveling with this bag as well. It sits really nicely right on top of my rolling suitcase. So this has been with me on quite a few trips. But let me take out the insert. So this is what it looks like, just with the laptop. And then let's place the magazine and the folder in. That works fine. There is a magnetic closure here as well. And let's put all the other items in no particular order. I'm just throwing them in just to show you quickly. So it's pretty spacious, isn't it? And this one, I think now is considered the medium size. It was called the small size, which is very confusing. And if you look on the secondhand market, it's going to be very confusing because the names are all over the place. But this is the in-between size now. There's one that's slightly larger and one that's slightly smaller. So I'd call this the medium now, the new medium. But this is by far the most expensive kind of in-your-face bag that I'm showing today. This one I think I bought for about $3,800 3 years ago. And now I believe it's retailing for about $4,700. So that's wild. I would say the other 4 bags are much more everyday, less of a dent on your budget, and they're great bags. This is great though if you are really into Chanel or if you are really into more of like a designer looking tote bag. You know, it says Chanel here. It's pretty discreet, but it does have it written along here on the front. The back is plain. You can turn it around and use it the other way. If you love the interwoven classic Chanel chains for your straps, you know, it's a matter of preference, right? But I really don't think you need to splurge on a tote bag unless that's your cup of tea. So here you've got the two side by side, Longchamp and Deauville. Different shape on the sides, a little bit wider up top on the Deauville, but otherwise quite similar. Let's see if I can lay it down. The base on the Deauville is going to be longer and generally just a little bit bigger. Here it is against the Cuyana small easy tote. Again, this is slimmer and closer to the body. Soft leather, mixed fibers. Here's the MZ Wallace. Let me move my plant. This is just very different with the quilted nylon. You can kind of get a sense. I think the mod shots are probably going to be more helpful as you go through the video and just see how it looks on my frame. By the way, I'm just shy of 5 feet 6 inches tall, so if that's helpful to get height reference. And then finally here is the Parisa Wang. That's what it looks like. So again, the base is going to be a little bit longer on the Chanel Deauville. Here's the side. The Parisa Wang is taller, a couple of inches taller than the Chanel. Strap length, both of the straps are quite generous. They're all of these bags are going to be comfortable on the shoulder. They're all meant to be carry over the shoulder type of tote bags. All right, so let me know if you have a favorite among the bunch or which one is your go-to favorite tote bag in your closet. I would love to know because I think tote bags are just really handy, especially when we're carrying a lot. Even when you're not carrying a lot, you can literally just throw your bits and bobs and just go and not have to worry, right? And it's hands-free over the shoulder. So I wish I had more color to show you in this video. This is literally the only non-black tote bag that I have to show you today, but you know, neutrals are my thing. So hopefully this video was helpful, especially for those of you who may be on the market for a new tote bag for this new fall season, or as you start school or perhaps a new job. Sometimes tote bags get worn really well and they start to fall apart. I remember my old Madewell tote bag that I used for work. It was so well loved and so well used, and eventually got rid of it and needed to update or upgrade my tote bag. So if you're in a position to have to do that, hopefully this video has been informative. If you are interested in these ZOOMONI organizer inserts, again, not sponsored, but I do have a code where you can get 20% off, so I'll be sure to put that in there. I feel like back in the day, there was no such thing as bag organizer inserts, and once they became a thing, I just got so hooked because in some cases, it's a game changer for some of these bags. All right, so I will link all of these bags down below in my description box in case you want to do more research and take a look. If I have any discount codes that are still valid, I'll be sure to include those down below as well. You just need to expand right below my video title, and then you'll see all the information. But let me know what you thought of this video. Please leave me a comment, and if you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.